Alright guys, when I don't see the video of Shegun, it says Shegun, where they talk go left, talk go right. Now Peter Obi we want, oh Peter Obi is not capable, oh Peter Obi is demarketing Nigeria, or blah blah blah. This particular video, it go shock you now. In fact, this video, let's watch it.
Are you still a member of the PDP?
Without a doubt.
You're a member of the PDP?
Of course.
Okay. You visiting the president? Does it sound like
Ask your question so I can answer.
No, I'm asking you.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I've known Ashaju for a long time, even way before he became a governor. He was governor for 8 years. I never visited him. And one of our leaders, whom I will not mention, a deputy governor, had called me, and I thought he wanted to just, say hello to me. And lo and behold, he said, hold on. And, how are you? This. You have to come and see me. Now, let's just start from the fact that who the hell is the person that I'm going to take permission for to see the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
So the president spoke to you on the phone of the deputy governor?
You're not listening.
I'm trying to understand you.
I'm giving you as much as I can.
So if I'm sitting with her, he doesn't understand
I'm trying to give you as much as
I'm
trying to give you as much as I can within limits.
Okay.
From the phone of the deputy governor, I knew that I was invited to have a meeting with him. The next day, I was still free. The third day, I had to go. My instinct was, okay, why not? He's been in government now for 2 years. It's not a bad time to go and have a conversation with him. Those who know me well, especially in Ogun, they know that I used to run a program called Lions Den. Show is hotter than politics today. I don't ask easy questions. I ask very tough questions. I ask very probing questions in the most polite way. But there'll be questions that if you don't answer, you'll even know that you kind of don't know the answer. And I have a deep relationship with the president. I can look at him from a distance and look at what he's doing from a distance without talking to him for 10 years. And I can always put the plug, okay, this is why I did this, this is why I did it, this is why I did it. I've known him since 94. And I did not know him as his cheerleader. I knew him as a thought leader that was engaging in the process of how do we rescue this country. And even at that, I was not in his part, never been. I had to go to him now for 3 reasons. The first was that I was concerned that this democracy was faltering. And I didn't think it was his fault, even though he was mostly blamed. I could not understand how, after about 20-something years, political parties would just suddenly assume that they have an escape route of blaming others for their own woes. I didn't like that, and I wanted to be sure that what was going on there. The second reason is that I began to become a little bit uncomfortable with the demonizing of all policies by those who don't understand what it takes to design futuristic ideas that could work. The third was that I felt, okay, perhaps if I spoke to him, if I visited, we would engage the way we usually engaged, and I'll be able to decipher the state of his. Some people talk about his frailty. And I told you here before that I know him the way his mind works. So I jumped on that invitation.
Well, just a moment. With your meeting with the president now, is it likely that you can work with him?
There has never there has never been a doubt that I can work with him. There's never been a doubt.
Even as a PDP member, if they had invited you, they had given you an appointment, you would have taken it.
I don't do that type of nonsense. If I am going to work with the president, I'm going to lead the PDP.
Because I'm wondering,
completely.
Just a moment.
What is the moment?
Because
I'm going to work with the president. I'm going to talk the PDP.
So the question is,
I've been here for 27
you have sat in this same chair and you've criticized. You think that this government is rudderless.
Yes.
Yeah,
at the point.
You held that view. You also said that there's been a lot of ethnic concentration,
lopsidedness. Yes, of course. And I feel so.
At that time. And you think that the way and manner this country is going under the Bola Tinubu government, although you said that you know him very well, but you don't think that the man is leading us anywhere. Those are some of the views that you have shared on this program. Do you see all those thoughts?
So let me help you. When he set up his government, the beginning of the ministers, I was honestly not happy that some locations got more. And I was particularly unhappy that the Southeast got only 5. I didn't like that. And I didn't spare that. I didn't like that. And the reason for that is simple. I feel that to manage the balance of the country and to build consensus around decisions, all the critical components must feel that they are treated equally. But guess what? We talked about it, and he has balanced it. Most people don't even remember that commander of one of the agencies, Ogala, is an Igbo man. He has balanced it. He has balanced it. And then let me give you another one. Remember I said to him that I think that I thought that Yemi Cardoso maybe was not, that maybe he was because he was a Lagos person from him. The president gave me an example that shocked me. Because I told him, I said, listen, what's this? And he said to me, Shagun, do you know what happened to Yemi there? Because even I cannot even give him instructions if he doesn't agree. And he gave me a good example. I said, I won't tell you the example, but he just told me that. I told him, do this. And I said, Mr. President, no. He said, Shagun, I'm the president too. I said, everybody knows Yemi. His eyes are on the inflation and the money in circulation, that kind of stuff, and monetary policy. So, I asked him, what about Governor Wiki? The kind of questions you can't ask him. But anyway, bottom line is that I have to be...
What did he tell you about
I will tell you that later, but let me finish. Because I've heard a lot of annoying jargon. Like, I can't visit him.
Like, there are a lot of names people have called you. Sycophants, hungry man, that you are seeking for opportunity, that you are... A lot of things that people have called you. You being a critic, you think Nigerians will not criticize you?
I don't care about
No, I can't stop because I invited you. Now I'll ask you the question.
You are repeating. Let me just answer you. By the grace of God Almighty, I was born with a womb of a woman that had money. And I was born by a man who was giving his mates money even in the army. Please, I don't know that kind of poverty. We're just humble. If I wanted an appointment from Bashar Duwala Tinubu, I'll be there since. My brother is Bikole Amusu. In the past, he was governor in Ogun State. We had an issue because I left him for Daniel. He was governor for 8 years. He's my brother. He can never tell you I ever came to him to tell him, let's do beggar. But I don't flow that way. I just believe that there comes a time in the life of a nation where you must try to be sure whether the direction that the leader is going to is the right direction, or at least whether it is his intended direction. And I guarantee you, I don't kid myself and I don't have any reason to kid anybody. He's smart. Above average.
But you think you never thought that before now? You didn't think that we are on the right track under this government.
Can you
but
stop?
After just a moment, let me ask my question.
Oh, yeah, ask.
Can you calm down, Mr. Shagun?
Yeah.
This is my program. I've invited you, and the courtesy between guest and presenter. Let's just establish it. So let me land on my question. My question is this: before now, you never believed that the country is on the right trajectory, but after yesterday, you think otherwise.
No. You have not been. You can't. You see. If you have followed me around a lot, I do a lot of interviews, you would have known those things I said they were right on. I told you, and if people say they're going to remove subsidy, there's no simple way. I'll do it smaller. The move is removed. The knock-on effect on subsidy is clear. There's no beating about the bush. In case you don't even have the money. I've always said that. I said I do not agree, only to the extent that I would have rather he was punishing those who messed up that opportunity for everybody. That's it. I've always been,
whether or not after yesterday you had.
I think that
if you were born again.
No. I don't need to be born again.
The philosophy of Bola Tinubu.
I don't need to be born again. I've always known him. I've always said he's smarter than his mates.
So, but do you know anything different from this?
I think what happened when I was with him yesterday is that nostalgia of who I know he is. I like when I think, okay, we've been through it. I know him. I like when I think, okay, he's there. And people say, oh, this. So I like the fact that he's just as I knew him.
So, agreed. Bola Tinubu, you underrate him, underestimate him based on his frailty at
people do that.
The question is that a lot of people want to know is you are an Atiku man.
I'm a PDP man.
Just a moment. You're an Atiku man. Don't gainsay.
I'm an ambassador.
You are close to him. Just a moment. You're an Atiku man. Yes, now you have gone to me. Doesn't that look like a betrayal of trust? Did you tell Atiku before you met him?
One of the things that hurts me the most is that most people misinterpret what the role of somebody who speaks for other people are. He doesn't give me the script of what to say for him. I take his idea, I look at him, I ask 1 or 2 questions, and I generate everything I need to say. There's no secret of his that he gave me that I'm giving him. It's the things that I have looked at, okay, this is what he would like to do. I've answered questions that later on, when they ask some of their people, they can't even answer those questions. I dislike.
This is you, Mr.
Yes, I'm telling you.
I criticized Daniel Bwala when he moved on to the other side.
I didn't.
You did.
No, listen.
You called him a tongue. You called him several names.
I never did.
Right on this program, you did.
No.
I dare say you did.
Okay.
If I knew you were going to deny it, I would have brought it.
Listen, what I said.
You criticized him.
No.
But I think you should apologize to him.
No.
But if you criticize Bwala for working for Tinubu, and this is you talking so eloquently about Bola Tinubu,
listen,
you heavily
I own
criticized.
my mouth, I own my words, I own my arguments.
Does it look to you like betrayal
of who?
Of Atiku Abubakar?
Is he
you now taking sides?
Is he running for president now? He's running a coalition which everybody knows I'm not part of. Why would you even in your wildest dream think that I don't have my individuality because of what? You know how long I've been in the party? Since the time get-go, I've never left. I won't say the same about them. You see, when you make it this way, I don't like a situation where every time I have to have the question, you force me to have to do a pushback on that. I don't need to. I am at liberties as an adult to take decisions that work for me. And I will be very happy if people don't make it about Atiku President, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, because that would then be kind of like make you want to do a pushback. I don't need to do that. He takes decisions that are in line with how he sees things.
I'm saying Daniel Bwala, for example, you criticize him for moving to...
If you go and look, you will find out that I didn't really...
I will get it. I'll probably put it online to remind you.
You could.
So the question is that you've criticized Daniel Bwala for leaving your side onto the other side.
Daniel works and is an appointee and a member of the APC. I am not aware that we have taken a decision in this country that just because we're in politics, I can't give somebody that is old enough probably to be my father or my uncle. I'm not aware. I'm not aware that if I knew that people are going to get this silly, I would have been visiting much earlier because I don't understand where this is coming from.
So let me ask you
I'm not tied into anybody.
Let me ask those who think that you are anti-Tinubu before now.
They didn't think that.
No, just
I'm not anti-Tinubu.
You can't see yourself 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not anti him.
So take it when other people give you a feedback. So if people think that you are a very strong critic of Bola Tinubu,
because I'm a very strong and passionate, loyal person of PDP.
Do you still going on to criticize him now?
You know, I'll put it this way.
After benefiting for almost an hour of his AC free of charge.
So
there's AC in his house.
That's trivializing.
I'm saying that you were in his environment.
How much is an
being with the #1 president.
Thank you very much. Now you are putting it properly. The privilege to engage the #1 citizen in office, even though I'm not in his party and I've critiqued him, makes him superior to the others. I've been in this party forever. The only time we go to them is after they've lost and we need to kind of like shut them up. Yeah, and I've never stopped one day. I've never dropped the ball. You know, everything Bola and them, he doesn't have one approach to deal with everybody. He has the uncanny ability to apply different people. Everybody has almost like a perfect relationship with him, and we are all not.
We need to close now.
Close now.
Were you able to tell him that people are suffering in this country?
We talked about that, but you don't have time to hear. You don't have time because you allowed us instead of going to listen. I asked him a question about two things. I asked him a question about insecurity and what he was going to do about it because we have talked about it in the past many years back, and I also asked him a question about food security. He said to me, we will get over the hurdle of food security because it's bringing in the equipment. And that specialized areas are going to be given for the north and north. And then I chipped in, how about Ogun? He said, I've just done something for them on cotton and I will continue to do that. He mentioned the number of tractors they're bringing in.
You're the same person who called for the president's impeachment.
That was the call. Let me explain that.
No, that's number one. Okay, yeah.
One second, let me give you that. Let me quickly answer that. At that time, they had said they removed subsidy. Then somehow Manley Kyari's NNPC had then said something to the effect that, oh, they were still doing something that required, maybe they were abridging the price. And then I asked, by whose authority is he doing that? And if the president is the Minister of Petroleum, If the National Assembly was a serious National Assembly, they should call Mele and even call the president in his capacity as Minister of Petroleum to come and explain why they are spending money that is not budgeted.
Okay. All right. You're also on record saying that APC and Tinubu hate Nigeria. So now have you changed your mind on that?
Well, I think that what I would just say is this: the view from outside is different from the view from the inside, and the view from the inside, listen, doesn't have to be necessarily. Listen,
so
the view from the inside.
Are you now inside?
Can you listen now?
Oh, sir. Yes.
The view, when I say the view from the outside, if the door is locked and you've not spoken to the man, you will have a view. If you open the door and you listen and you look, you may have some empathy. And the empathy for me is that our nation is difficult to manage.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of economic policies and the direction they want to go will bear fruit, I believe so, if they stick to it.
Okay.
But even if you say you are angry, you need to take the others that are even jumping around and talking nonsense. Ask them, what would they have done differently?
So you are saying you changed your view that APC and Tinubu hate Nigeria?
No, I don't know about APC. I will engage them at some point in time. But if you look at how they are doing, with due respect, you even have to ask, by what magic are people trooping them? So if we say they hate Nigeria, why are all the governors going? Okay,
so does Tinubu still hate Nigeria, or have you changed your mind, sir?
Definitely, he doesn't hate the country. Truly. I think that I reflected on some of this criticism.
Okay.
And I came to the
sorry, sir. You were talking
about
Muslim ticket. That's what you were talking about.
I came to the conclusion
yes.
that part of our challenge, even for those of us who have to criticize government, is that in this particular instance, our issue is that we have a limited understanding of the work going on towards reform. Yashab is brilliant. Just forget all that nonsense. He's a very, very brilliant man. And when I say he's brilliant, even if I were to compare him with all the others, and there's nobody that I don't know and I don't engage, and there are people that I've engaged, and when I just listen to them, even among the ones who you could call his rivals, I look at them, I listen to what they say, and I just shake my head. And there are those that I look at them and say, this one is so damn shallow, it's unbelievable. You know?
All right.
But he's brilliant.
So you're saying that he's smarter than his rivals?
By miles.
Does that include Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi?
Come on. When I say smarter than his rival, he's smarter than almost everybody within that age grade.
Okay. All right. You tweeted saying you went to spend quality time with the president. What informed your decision to go see Mr. President for that quality time? Of all the people you could have visited. Yeah.
I was invited. I was really invited.
By Mr. President.
Naturally, you can't go out to a man's house unless he invites you, can you?
Yes.
I had gone on for Salah, like I said, at another fora, and a call came in. I couldn't have, I had no inkling that would happen. And then when I said hello, how are you? I was invited. I will come there, that kind of thing. I was well aware of who I was and who he is, or who I am and who he is. But what most people don't know is that this has been the relationship between me and the president from time immemorial. I don't sit around this table clapping hands or picking crumbs, no. But from time to time, we create that opportunity for ourselves, stimulated sometimes by me and this time by him, and we sit. Usually, we need a lot of time, and we're always probably undisturbed alone, and we engage very, very deeply. Mistakes that Bola Tinubu will never make. He wants to talk about perambulation, he go blah, blue, blah. What's all that? And it wasn't once, it wasn't twice. So if it's like that, they have to look themselves in the mirror and know they cost it for themselves, and not begin to stay in a foreign land on an organization that is not even up to the status of the Nigerian Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, and begin to pretend as though all of the other organizations within the country, Nigeria, is not up to standard or cannot question them. And I think the media must be very firm on that. We will not have anybody who wants to serve us
begin to give us the impression that it's bigger than the collective. So whatever it is that Delelake is talking about is hogwash. They need to come back home and start attending events. Atiku attends events in spite of the fact that he has been contesting for a while. So typically, Atiku will say, oh, my views are known, therefore if you call me, I won't answer. But he painstakingly attends it. And when you ask him questions, he answers. When you ask him questions that ordinarily some other persons will say, oh, this is below the belt, he gives as honest an answer as possible. That's how you know those who don't consider themselves too big for all of us to try to know. That's that on that. When they come back home, they should come and answer channels. They should answer Rise TV no matter how annoyed they are. And that insinuation of people blackmailing them, nobody's blackmailing you guys. You guys are the ones who are even known for underarm tactics when it comes to the way the state of the place. The only thing that has happened is that you are thinking that you are going to be...
Thank you. When you look at the cabinet, and you have been monitoring cabinets in this country for a long time, you have to even ask, okay, so the only people that have brains now in Nigeria are the Lagos boys of Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, like seriously? And that we don't have brilliant people in the north, we can't have brilliant people in the southeast, we can't find brilliant people in the south, we can't find brilliant people that can run economy anywhere else. And so you guys are, well, I wanted to put it on record. And the reason why I did that, if we institute a culture of, bigotry and clannishness, when power changes hand, where will I have the guts to tell the new man to take it easy when they start behaving that way? You have to be fair on yourself. You have to be fair on your brother. You have to, so that you can be fair on others. I'm not one of those ones who will agree that we should criticize Buhari and then be rubbing the head of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu because he's a Yoruba man. And he's not more Yoruba than me. And I say on behalf of all of us, imagine what they are doing now. People are coming out and bringing our revered oral culture and our oral tradition to be using it for protest. Is that like a joke? Are they going to destroy even our tradition because of their mismanagement of the country? And you don't want me to speak up? No, I'm not like that. I'm not made from that material.
All right.
I'll praise them when they do well, and I would scold them when they don't do well.
All right.
Are there a lot of like minds like yourself who believe that President Bola Tinubu, is mismanaging the whole Yoruba appointment thing, in his government? Is there a lot of people who feel that way?
The people that are Yorubas would like to say that let them take everything since it's their boys, their turn. Emilokon, now our turn. But sensible Nigerians from all other parts of the country who are more than just one clan will be saying, wait a minute. How come you have finance, you have CBN, you have custom, you have immigration, you have internal affairs, you have police? Come on. You can't be telling me that you're going to Dubai to have a conversation on energy cut down, something that as a Nigerian leader is even directly affecting the things that give you money. If at best they say they want to pay some carbon bills to encourage you, must you go there like frustrated children who have no parents at home? Must you go there with the largest groupings so that when you sit down there, they're looking at you with beggar bowls in your hand, all of you looking like
Brazil beggars. And UAE has more delegation than Nigeria. With due respect,
do you know what Brazil and UAE, do you know the size of the economy? They can afford it. They can damn afford it. That the height of what the Brazilians are doing is even the thing that's happening in the Amazon region, where they're trying to say, okay, don't cut the trees and all of that. And so because Brazil can do it, Brazil owns an airline manufacturing company, they own their own airline. Brazil owns their own oil and gas industry, they're not having any problem. Brazil can feed itself. There's hardly anything you want to eat in Brazil that is really important. If a company wants to manufacture as small as butter for them, he has to come and do it in Brazil. And then you will come to Nigeria at a point where you are telling us that we don't even have money. You have now suddenly reduced this country, this great nation of ours, to a nation that just jumps on every available invitation, carries all sorts of funny characters, people who have no business being there, including your children, to a process as serious as that. Why should the Nigerian government, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria at this time, why should he be doing as if he's never gone on a plane or gone to a seminar? There are 40 million Yoruba people in the entire globe. That's the estimation. There are 222 million thereabout people in Nigeria. There are 93 million registered voters in Nigeria. the verdict that is in Ashad Bola Ahmed, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's hand, is by 8 million people. Shall all of us who are not part of that 8 million now say to ourselves that we are now at the proudest moment of our lives, wherein under deposition, documents are flying about, some saying female, some writing male, some saying he came with the social security number that is tied to a woman. Some, look, let me tell you, Sheung, I know a lot of people who spoke the Bola Tinubu presidency into power. People like my very respected brother Femi Fani-Kayode, who must have their tongue clipped now because they will be greatly embarrassed that is this what we have really become? And you know, Sheung, the painful thing about it is that we want the entire country to pretend as if Atiku is now so guilty because he has the stamina and the gusto to go through all this. Even if nothing happens from the Supreme Court, and if something happens from the Supreme Court, would this not be a line that we should never cross in this country? And I need to put it to you, Sheung, Atiku, this is not the first time Atiku has put himself in harm's way just for all of us. Even if you can't remember any, even though there are a plethora of others and court cases in court. One of them being the fact that a governor cannot just get up in the morning and remove his deputy. A president cannot get up and remove his vice. It's down to Atiku and fighting. The one that all Nigerians must even take a bow for is that, do you know how Nigeria would have become if it was really possible for somebody to stay in power perpetually and somebody had to stand at third time when even generals in this country were mooted? If Atiku has gone to Chicago to go and find the certificate, pray. Why wasn't the certificate produced in the first time? Why is the secondary school, why is it a secondary school that doesn't exist? We have been derobed. People in England are telling me now that nurses are going to have to go and redo their nursing qualification exam. You know why? Because we have now become a nation of cheaters. We have now become a nation of duplicitous people who cannot even, I mean, come on, even the back ends of some other countries. You know what the governments of the countries are doing? They're doing like this. They are whispering behind our back. And Sheung, when we wanted to go on this journey, one day I was on one of those programs, I always try to speak fact. I tried to say to even the president then that is immortality in the villa, because the contraption and everything put together does not suggest that this is the best that Nigeria can put forward. And before you start telling me about any genius economic policies, the reality on ground does not even suggest so. That team that he has put together could have been put together for any other person that will carry the honor, the integrity. So do you know how I feel? I feel diminished. I feel that, are these the children of Bafemi Awolowo? Are these the people that Abraham Adesoya and the likes of them in AD, did they know all this and allow it to slide? Must we now get to a position in the world where we're sending like thousands and thousands of emails to one institution to ask for the same record that could have been produced? Did you read the deposition? Even the school itself must bury his head in shame. The school has a right to say, this is totally the position we have, and be unambiguous about it. They can't write that deposition in a manner that in one breath you get the impression they are saying, oh, he's with us, he went to our school. In another breath they are saying, we can't validate the certificate. In another breath they are saying, the vendors did it. In another breath they can't find the person that signed it. In another breath
Just a moment, Mr.
This is what you get always in Nigeria, because we now live in a country of propaganda and lies, and they manufacture it. The problem we have in the Labour Party is problem instigated and sustained by the government of today.
Where's the proof?
I don't need to tell you. When you have a party chairman who calls a state governor a dwarf and dwarf thinking, forget about me. So it's not weak. Okay, I'm weak, but it's not weak. Is every other person there weak? So let's all be sincere with ourselves. Before they call you names here, you know it. You speak the truth and you call you names. We now live in a country of propaganda and lies and trying to put problems everywhere. We won't even put problems in families. Rufai have managed and built a business locally and internationally, and they're thriving. By the time I left them, I've been chairman of corporations, quoted companies, director, and I've earned my respects. And I've been a governor. There's no place that I've shown weakness. Rufai, I returned school that was taken from churches 40 years that nobody could even dare mention.
But these are the point people. These are the point people like Kenneth Okonkwo.
Yes.
These are the things they said against you.
It's just Kenneth Okonkwo. Who again?
But it's a valid point of view.
I mean,
it's an echo chamber.
If 12 persons that followed Jesus, one went against him, how about me, where millions followed, and you're counting those who went against me? Listen, people must go against you, people must speak against you, and their own listen. I still remain consistent and not changed. Like I said, Kenneth is my younger brother. He has his reasons for his actions or what he wants to do. Rufai, humility, patience, tolerance is not weakness, it's a virtue. It is not easy for people to remain where I am. And when I was campaigning election, Rufai went to places people dare not go to. I was in Southern Gombe, was everywhere. People fear to go. Before I drive around this country today, this year alone, I've driven from Abuja to Kafancha, to Kaduna, to Kano, to Katsina, to Jigawa, to Jos, to Benue, to Kogi. Who is doing that? So people just stay in their house and talk about this macho they are. Just like they stay, they don't go to anywhere. It's easy to be an armchair critic. For God's sake, I'm on the road.
Is it not a shame that after 2 years in office, the only picture of achievement this president has is the one he's dancing on one bed with the wife? That is the one that they are showing.
That's not correct. No,
that is the one they are showing in the billboards.
But that's not correct, Mr. Okonkwo.
Now I will take you and show you. One dance, as in after 2 years in office.
And you know that's not by
scandalous.
I know that's not by the government, the billboard you're referring to. Yeah. But Mr. Okonkwo, we have to leave the conversation here tonight. Thank you so much.
You see that some of these people, they are stylishly and indirectly working for Tinubu. It's very sad. Yes, don't take their words very serious. They are working for Tinubu. Remember, this is about our own life, our survival, how we will survive in 2027. Remember, Tinubu is not campaigning right now for the betterment of the country. How to retain power is what they are already campaigning about 2 years in advance. It's crazy. It's very, very crazy. What do I know? This is Nigerian Watch Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's continue to talk about the things that affect you and I. Take care, guys, and bye for now.